decor. Every corner of her home tells a story about conscious living. This is the Art of Living show. Let's discover, explore, and engage. Our guest today is none other than Nehar Parmar. She invites us to her beautiful space to have a look around and to have a conversation. Did you get to hear it? Finally.
I heard you.
Oh my
Loud
God.
and clear. Karibu, karibu to my home, Naila. Thank you so much.
Oh, look at this beautiful canopy here. And who are these?
This is Sonic. Sonic, come. Come, Sonic. Come, Sonic. He loves the chase.
He loves.
The chase.
Oh, so cute. Sonny, that's Sonny?
Sonic.
Sonic.
Yeah.
You're a nice doggy. Come on now, come on now. Go get that, go get that, go get that. Ah, you are a nice doggy. So nice.
Thank you.
What a
for coming
friendly
over.
dog.
Oh, thanks.
This is Orchid, right?
Yeah. I need to remember the exact name.
Okay.
But it was, yeah, Sonic.
Okay.
Again.
Again.
Yeah, but it actually was here when I got here, and it's one of the reasons I fell in love with this space.
Okay.
I'm a fan of nature, so it'll never end, by the way. He can just keep going like an Energizer bunny.
Really?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Sonny, you're too fast for us.
And this is Kiana.
Kiana. Kiana doesn't love the toy, does he?
She likes to play with
does
Sonic
she?
a bit, yeah. And this is
Okay.
Sarabi.
Okay.
This is Sarabi, my rescue.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, what a lovely bunch of dogs.
Thank you.
So nice, really
Thank you.
cute.
Thank you.
Okay, so we can go in.
Yes, Karibu.
How do you take care of this canopy, by the way? Speaking of
They're
which,
Natural.
you don't do anything
I
watering.
don't do anything.
It takes care of itself.
Takes care of itself.
Wonderful. You have a garden though?
I do.
Okay.
I
all
do.
right,
I
okay,
do.
Okay. Now I'm gonna add one more plant.
Oh, thank
Into
you. Thank you so much.
Your collection of plants. I
This
see
is
you've
the
got-
best gift.
Oh,
This
yeah?
is the best gift. I love plants. Thank
Okay.
you.
I'm glad you like it.
Thank you.
So I think I'm looking at your pots and they're quite creative. Look at that.
Yeah.
Because we're all about plants, and some of the things that we need in our spaces is some of these beautiful pots to create the authentic look and feel of our outdoor spaces.
Exactly.
Is this clay?
Yeah, these are made in Kenya.
Okay.
Clay and painted, and I fell in love with them.
Okay.
And I found them at a random shop that I walked into, and
Yeah.
they were pretty inexpensive, because usually these pots are monumentally expensive
Yeah.
when you actually shop for them, but these were amazing. So I picked them up, and then I just kind of plopped them around with some of my other stuff that I found.
So it looks nice. What a beautiful display.
Thank you. Yeah, I usually when I see quirky pots, I kind of just pick them up and just plonk
And
them
it all
somewhere.
adds up in the end.
Exactly.
So we can go in.
Please, Karibu.
Okay, thank you so
Welcome,
much.
welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome home.
Did you play any role in this? Did you build the house?
No, I didn't build a house. My
Okay.
wonderful landlady did.
Okay.
But for me, there were parts of the house that I was really attracted to, like the blue stones, which a lot of people don't use in construction.
Yes.
And the extensive woodwork that makes the house feel really warm, which I just
Yes.
fell in love with.
Yes.
And then the rest was just bringing my home and making it at home, bringing my stuff in and actually making it at home, because I feel like you can go to so many beautiful places, but to make it a home takes an extra step and time
and effort.
and effort, exactly.
There's something beautiful about this doll.
Yeah, one of the things that I absolutely loved about this house as well, just reminds me of, it's a heavy wooden door.
Yes.
It's cladded in wood, it's a
Yes.
security door, but Wooden doors, big wooden doors, and these
know.
handles. Like, what would you not
know.
love about this,
I
right?
know. I think that's why I was knocking really hard because it felt nice, like
A little bit of antiquity.
I know, right? So nice. Let's talk about, so upstairs is part of your rooms.
Yeah, so upstairs is mainly the bedrooms
Okay.
and a private sort of lounge area for myself and the kids.
Okay.
And then downstairs is pretty much the dining, kitchen, formal living,
Okay.
and entrance to the garden.
So it's 3 layers.
It's 3 layers. It's quite a layered house.
Yes.
Which was really interesting for me, but it allowed me to make use of every space and maximize and create like a nook. You know, every space has its own sort of personality. Yeah.
So nice to play around with such a space.
Thank you.
Given that it's all layered, each space has character, the designs, the nooks, the corners, the huge windows that allows you to get to have a feel of what outdoors looks like.
Exactly.
And then it's not your usual windows. I like the design of the wood on the windows as well.
Exactly. That's one of the reasons I loved this place when I saw it.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like nowadays when people build or design, there's still this fear of security. And they clad the house with grills and this and that. And I've never felt fearful about living in Kenya.
Yes.
I've always wanted to integrate myself with the outside and the inside.
Yes.
And, you know, and having these windows and openness allows everyone to breathe. You're connected with the outdoors as much as you're connected with the indoors.
Yes.
And I think for me that's very important because your environment technically, you know, affects your personality, your character in so many different ways.
Agreed.
So why would I want to lock myself up in a jail sort of environment, you know?
The foyer is spectacular. I love it.
Thank you.
Oozes creativity. I like the stone wall, what you've done with the table there. Talk to me about your foyer.
So it's quite a mixed curation of pieces. Some of them you'll see the West African antiques that come in from West Africa.
Okay.
And then a lot of the wooden pieces, including the table there, is all Reggie Hobbs. And he was one of these artists that just completely inspired me and opened my doors to a different platform of art. And that's where my journey with art started.
That's wood?
Yes, so that's actually concrete.
Okay.
And then the beaded crocodile,
Yes.
which is a part of, you know, what's made in Kenya, which I love. White beads,
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
White beads are it for me.
I know, so creative, very, very, very artistic.
My wish tree. So please come on in and make a wish.
I would love
Put
that.
your wish on the wishing tree. I just created that
Okay.
over the weekend as part of I had a belated birthday celebration, and I wanted my friends to, you know, feel something. I was really inspired by Yoko Ono, an artist. She had an exhibition on at the MoMA in England, and when I saw that, it brewed something so personal to me, and it was such a beautiful interactive way to connect with her art.
Yes.
And I just thought I'd bring that back and just share it with my friends.
What do you do after that?
So after, when it's
up.
full, I'll keep the wishes coming, but I think I'll create something with it after and see what my mind comes up with.
Talk to me about your sculptures, that beautiful art piece and that painting, which is a showstopper.
So these are artists that I've actually worked with and currently work with.
Okay.
That's an Anthony Russell piece. He's a major artist and mixed media artist, philanthropist in Kenya, and I've always loved his art. He's been one of, you know, these guys that's really inspired me as well through his eccentric pieces as well.
Yes.
And a lot of it has to do with his own photography. He was a photographer, and he works a lot with his clients now, creating their own bespoke art pieces at his camp called Mara Pure, and his pieces are also at the gallery, the Artisanal gallery, and these are by Reggie Hobbs. You know, his pieces are just so quirky.
Yes.
They don't necessarily have any specific meaning behind them, but
Yes.
the first time I saw them, I just fell in love with them because they were just so quirky and just so eccentric and just so out there that I just loved them.
You embrace eco-living.
Yes.
So talk to me about how you've integrated eco-living in your space as well.
So with Reggie Hobbs pieces, you see they're very raw. There's no paint on them. There's nothing, no varnish on them.
Yes.
And you know, this keeps the piece alive because the piece ages with time.
Yes.
And you know, the one thing that he really taught me was to engage with the pieces and touch them and feel them and let my kids play with them.
Okay.
And so, you know, because they're natural, they're wood, they carry the frequency of nature.
Okay.
And this adds a positive healing frequency in my home to let the pieces age over time. Means there's movement in the piece, which keeps it alive. And this is one of the things that I learned about him. So I love the rawness of the wood, and wood is nature, and nature is my biggest inspiration in life.
And they've been carved beautifully.
Yeah, that's
at
for sure.
that. And what about this beautiful piece?
So this is a West African piece from Benin, and it's a traditional guitar.
Okay.
So again, for me, the antiquity, the meaning behind the pieces, the natural sense of the piece as well, brings a good vibe into my home.
Yeah.
You know, this is a musical instrument. Music also carries a frequency, and from the history of the piece, obviously it was used in the kingdoms for musical dramas and plays for the king and queen. And for me to have something like this in my home, it represents, you know, a part of humanity that we have lost and we are losing. And I feel like I want to
Just a
preserve
touch of
that.
that.
Yeah, and keep that alive and keep that going. And, you know, well, my gallery, the Artisanal gallery, you see a lot of that resonates within that space. The preservation of culture is really an important part of what we do.
I'm glad you brought an artisan gallery, because that's one of the places that people can get some of these pieces, right?
Exactly.
Where is it based?
In Gigiri, on Gigiri Lane. It's a place called Gigiri Courtyard.
Okay.
And they've got fantastic eateries. It's a really nice weekend away with the family and kids.
Okay.
And come and check out the store, because it is an experience.
Awesome, awesome. So guys, I think as we proceed and as we go on, we've learned something new. This can be a deco piece, and over and above it being an eco piece, it means you're living with nature in your space. It keeps evolving.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So embrace some of these pieces in your home. You don't have to go and get a finished product. Like this continues to age. And I love the fact that you said it has its own frequency as you continue to interact with it.
Exactly.
And we will be back to see how it evolves.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm so inspired by this other space.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, I know you love the plant. You still want to hold on
Yes,
to it?
I'm going to put this right here. I think this is the space that needs some greenery, so it works perfectly in that space.
And it does. Look at the black and white, right? So nice. Oh, against the stone wall. Looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this dining area.
Yeah. So this dining area again has been inspired by my mom's Persian rug that I kind of nicked, but again, lots of woodwork.
Everything. That passion, it's everything. I love it.
I love, you know, this is again sustainable living, because you take old pieces and you give them new life.
Yes.
And you know, this was a piece that my mom was ready to say goodbye to, but when it came into my home, it completely reinvents its life, right?
Yes.
And again, everything is wood and nature, and again, inspired by Reggie Hobbs. We were supposed to open up a gallery in Lamu, so he was working on some live pieces, which are, you see on the wall.
Yes, that's a wrought iron.
Yeah, these are iron pieces that just rust over time, and again, the art evolves.
Yes.
It rusts, it has movement, it has energy.
Yes.
And that, you know,
it creates what you are looking for. It's a showstopper. It looks amazing. It's interesting how you've curated your space without having too much, but it complements your space beautifully. You know, like your stone wall, the white walls. It's so seamless. It blends beautifully with some of the pieces. Like some of the pieces are a bit modern-ish.
Yeah.
But the way you've styled it, it makes it so endearing.
Yes. Thank you. It's just curation, you know, like the gallery and like my home.
Yeah.
I like to move things around and I like to shift things around. And
Yes.
so maybe next time you come, the home will look completely different.
Okay.
And that's part of movement and energy, just like the pieces.
Lovely. Let's talk about the lighting.
Yeah.
That for me is jaw-dropping. Like, how did they do that?
Again, Reggie Hobbs pieces that I fell
Okay.
in love with.
Okay.
And in my previous home, he had come to do an exhibition.
Yes.
And so when I left that home, I only left with, you know, my personal items, and most of my personal items were in art
Yes.
pieces.
Yes.
So actually, the end of that, and those pieces were the beginning of my new life.
Yes.
And so they made my home what it is today.
Interesting.
So I give him full credit.
For those, can we get some of those if somebody is interested in that?
You
Or
know,
those are very personal to you?
No, those, I mean, you know, with Reggie, he worked with a lot of artisans in the coastal area.
Yeah.
And these artisans are dispersed everywhere, actually,
Okay.
all over Kenya.
Okay.
So the next part of my project is going to be sort of revive his spirit.
Okay.
And try to now create more pieces with his sort of essence in them.
Amazing.
So hopefully, you know, we'll
Yeah.
find the right artisan, and we've already started with a bit of the lampshades to recreate some of the pieces that he made.
Okay.
So yeah, they will be available soon, hopefully.
Yeah. What about the table and the seats as well, the dining sets?
The seats have been taken from my mum's house when
Okay.
she, again, upcycled pieces that, you
Yes.
know, someone's finished with their life with them, and
Yes.
I've breathed new life into them, and the table again is Reggie Hobbs.
Lovely. What do you feel when you're in this piece?
I feel warm. This is where my kids and I have our meals, breakfast
Okay.
and dinners, and every time.
Yeah.
And you know, I've created a little space for us to, you know, it's a
Bond.
space where we bond. We talk about our day,
Yes.
beginning or ending.
Yes.
And it's a space for that.
You've
you know?
created stories with your children here, your family here.
Yeah.
That is a corner for your friends.
Yes.
So nice. I see different textures, different pieces there. Talk to me about that corner that has a plant. Yeah.
So like you've seen, plants are really important in the house.
Yes.
They add warmth, they add oxygen. You've
Yes.
got to get the right plants to improve the circulation in the home.
Yes.
And they add they add a sense of warmth in the
Agreed.
house. So I love having, spots of green around the house and lots of plants.
Yes.
And the rest is just randomly sort of curated that I've put together pieces from Kenya. The stool is Reggie Hobbs. The seat there on the beautiful basket.
Yeah.
The basket is again from Kenya.
Okay.
And some of the West African pieces that I've absolutely fallen in love with.
Yes.
So it's a curation. It's essentially a curation of Africa, which is really what I love expressing. I'm so proud to be, Kenyan. I'm so proud to have all of this stuff available to us, and I've never ever looked abroad for pieces because I feel like what we have at our complete disposal with the artisans that are surrounding us in every corner of every roadside
Yes.
are really creating pieces that are beautiful. And it's just about, giving them a platform. When you give these pieces a platform
Yes.
to sit on, they really bring out that luxury artisanal nature of who we are and what we are as artisans, because it is becoming a lost culture.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
most Kenyans, we're surrounded by the markets.
Yes.
So for us,
We need to embrace what we have
Yes,
locally,
absolutely.
empower them. So when you
Exactly.
go on the roadside, like some of these pieces are pieces that somebody can buy on the road. It's all
Absolutely.
about how you style it. And I think
Absolutely.
it looks amazing. I feel like I've walked into one of these luxurious hotels. That's how they would style this area, dining area.
styling shouldn't be expensive
I
and
know.
unaffordable.
Yes.
It should be accessible.
Yes.
And once it's accessible and people see the value in it, because we've grown up with Maasai markets. You go into the market, you've seen it for years and years and years, but when an expat comes into the country and sees the stuff, they're blown away, right?
Yeah.
But we should really appreciate it as much as they do and see, okay, get creative with the pieces that you see. Everywhere I travel within Kenya, I always pick up a unique piece.
Good.
And that's what sort of makes the home.
And just to let the viewers know, this is just a tip of the iceberg. We're gonna go into the next space and you and I are gonna learn about eco-living and conscious living. What does conscious living mean to you?
Just being mindful. Being mindful about the way you are, the things you do, how you live.
Okay.
And this covers a massive, all the categories of being human.
Okay. How do you live your life consciously?
I apply it with every category of my life, whether it's people that I meet for the first time, like you, Naila.
Yes.
Whether it's people I work with.
Yes.
Whether it's my children, and
Yes.
it's just about embodying, the basic laws of nature, which is collaboration, kindness, love, truth, joy, harmony. And it's about how can I enhance, because I feel through my entire life cycle, I've gone through quite a lot and still going, never ends, right? But I feel like I'm now at a place where I feel complete in my own sense of self through my inner work that I've done.
Yes.
And now I can potentially enhance or create a more meaningful experience for somebody else.
And I feel the warmth. I feel your space is so alive. Are you gonna take us to the next step?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Nehar, whoever thought a trunk would fit in a living room and look so spectacular as this?
Well, actually, both trunks are from the same tree.
Oh yeah?
It's a jacaranda tree.
Okay.
That landed up one of the first times that I actually visited Reggie's home in Vipingo. And I told him, I said, well, you must create something with this for me. And this is what he made.
So,
and it was in his Vipingo home for a while. We interacted with it so many different ways and positioned it and curated it. And then it came to Nairobi. So
when you say curated, expound the trunks.
Just putting it with different things
Okay.
and different features and moving it around.
See, within here?
Yeah, within here, within his space.
Okay.
So again, it's the energy, it's the vibe. Yes.
I think that's a unique way of looking at how we style our homes.
And a sustainable way, actually.
Agreed.
Because you're depending on your nature, you're depending on your environment.
Yeah.
And for me, sustainable living is about creating a net zero relationship with nature.
Yes.
Which means whatever you take from nature, you're able to give back.
Yes.
Or not put back extra.
Agreed.
Right? So with nature being my biggest inspiration, especially, when I started my company, my natural skincare brand, the Natural Moms Company, 5 years ago.
Yes.
Nature for me is a school. It's where I learn everything from. And to surround myself with nature, again, it allows myself to continuously learn new things from all things nature. Because I truly believe that nature has all of the answers, from medicinal plants to natural art to natural furniture to natural, medicines, food. I mean, we get so much from nature. We've got to create a good relationship with it.
Absolutely,
and her.
absolutely. Talk to me about the seats, because they are different. Each seat is, you've used, different materials. That's mukeka, this is cloth. Very eclectic metal, very eclectic. Let's talk about your sitting area, your dining area. Even I as a guest, when I'm coming in, I'm gonna have to embrace your eco-friendly space.
Absolutely. And you see, I've broken the space up, because instead of the traditional way of looking at things where you need, your full set of furniture that's matching with your coffee table.
Yeah.
I started this on whatever I had. It wasn't like I went and I picked specific pieces for the house, right?
Okay.
So, this is my parents' old couch that again I got new life.
All right.
And
so you've upcycled this.
Yeah. This is
Okay.
upcycled, and I've managed to embrace it in my home here.
Lovely.
And it managed to kind of go with all the rest of the pieces.
So good.
So I've created a space there, I've created a space there, I've created a space there, I've created a space there. So it's broken up. Each space has its own aura and sort of environment. So you're not in this traditional setting of, I need to invest in like a whole sofa set, I need a sofa there, I need a coffee table. You know, it makes it, you know, a little bit daunting to do it that way. And for me, it was just easier to use what I had and just put it together in a way that makes it comfortable, makes it warm. And again, with the natural fibers, you know, mkeka is one of the fibers that you'll see a lot used in my house, and I love the fiber. It ages, it'll tear, it'll break down, but my kids can jump on my furniture, they can throw the pillows around, they can interact in their space and feel free. Versus, you know, being in a space where you've got a piece of artwork that, you know, sometimes, I mean, it's great if you can have a very expensive piece of artwork, but then you're constantly, you've got
Worried.
security guards around it, and don't
Yeah.
touch it, and don't do this, and don't do that. And I absolutely don't want that here. I want freedom. I want freedom to interact with your pieces. I want the kids to be able to jump around and
Yes.
do what they want.
Yes.
And that's why, you know, that for me, that's home. That freedom is home. Freedom to be you.
It's eco-friendly, it's pocket-friendly, and you at home don't have to keep killing yourself. You need all that expensive furniture. Embrace eco-living. This is what we're promoting on our show today on Art of Living, because that's what the future is. And sometimes all you need is a mkeka like that, and you have your sitting. Go home, get your old furniture, your folks' furniture pieces, and upcycle it, you know. Here is another wrought iron table. It looks beautiful and beautifully styled, and I'm sure it costs not so much, right?
No, not so much.
Yeah.
This piece itself was, again, a Reggie Hobbs piece that was supposed to go into the gallery in Lamu.
Yeah.
And we actually have the fins, it's a fish actually.
Oh, nice.
And the fins are actually outside, where
Okay.
I've used as coffee tables, but the whole piece is a fish, which is
Okay.
incredible.
Yeah.
But again, I've just deconstructed it and used it in different ways, in different spaces. And
Yes.
Again, it's just an interaction that I have with the art, and sometimes I'll change the table to that way.
Okay.
And you know, again, even in this room, there's so many other artists that are represented. Asa Mohammed is another artist that I'm representing through the Artisanal Gallery. He's a brilliant
Is
photographer.
that the art piece?
Yes,
Okay.
these are his photographs, and he's from
Okay.
Nigeria.
Okay.
And does beautiful photography. And then again, one of my first Anthony Russell purchases that I was lucky enough to purchase.
The one next to the fireplace?
Yeah.
Okay. Stunning.
Which represents almost like a palace in a cave.
Yes, I see that. Lovely. Behind me, I see this beautiful mkeka art piece that looks like a
Donut,
wheel,
a donut,
a donut, the way you want to look at it.
and the bananas.
And the bananas. Oh, nice. Interesting. And this beautiful art piece here.
Yeah,
It's outstanding.
thank you.
Let's talk accessories in your space and how you've played around with your accessories. For instance, I see you have something about reptiles.
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
I love all things, but
This is a
this is such a beautiful
This
piece.
is the second crocodile I'm seeing in this space.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the
another
white-beaded
one. Okay, that's a fish.
That's
right
a
there.
shark.
Yes, that's a shark right there. Talk to me about your accessories and your thought process when you're decorating your space with the accessories that you have.
To be honest, it's a bit of a random process. It's
Okay.
when I get into my creative zone and
Yeah.
into the zone.
Yes.
And you know, pieces move in and out of here because again, I also personally, I'm a broker, an art broker, so a lot of these pieces get sold, new pieces come in. So there's movement, there's versatility, and it's an instinctual thing that I do. I can't explain it.
And it comes together.
Yeah, and it ends up coming together somehow.
Yeah.
There's some calm in the chaos that usually comes out.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned something when we were at the foyer that you picked pieces, you moved into this space and you had a new beginning. Talk to me about your new beginning.
My new beginning was, obviously it's hard when you start a brand new life.
Yes.
And you know, I left my old life very suddenly, and I had to start again. And I think that it takes a lot of courage and vision, but I think, you know, we're all capable of starting something new, especially if something old doesn't work out in the way you imagined it to be.
Yes.
You know, and for me, my freedom, for me to be able to express myself and be myself for who I totally am was a really big part of that step that I took.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my expression, you know, not everybody, it's not for everybody.
Agreed.
Right? It's not for everybody. It's for some people, but you know, it worked out in that way. And so I started everything new again with just these pieces that really helped me.
So you left your marriage?
Yes, I left my ex-husband.
Yeah.
And it was tough, like all divorces are, right? And it was sudden.
Yes.
But I managed to filter and channel the pain into creating something new, and that was around the time that I opened up the gallery, the Artisanal gallery.
Okay.
And I had a beautiful way of channeling the pain to create a new experience and a new space for people that I truly believe need to see the pieces that, you know, we love and we talk about here.
Yes.
So that was a way for me to
channel your energy,
channel my energy,
your pain into creating this beautiful space.
Yes.
So in our lives, I think all of us, as much as we go through pain, we go through things that are beyond our control in life. I think that's why I enjoy Art of Living, because it teaches us a lot. Other than us creating new spaces or the spaces that we live in, out of the ashes, you have created this beautiful...
Rises the phoenix.
Absolutely. I like that. So you too at home, if you're going through a hard time, pain, you too are gonna rise
as a phoenix.
So we're gonna go to the next space. Before we go, what's your most memorable piece here that you hold so dear to your heart?
I think it has to be
the trunks.
It has to be the trunks.
I
it has to be the
see
trunks.
That.
Yeah.
I see that. I thought so. So from trunks to wrought iron to cakers to sisal to all these beautiful art pieces to tree trunks. Hey, this is what Art of Living is all about, a creativity too. So let's go to the next step.
After you.
Thank you. This is your sanctuary.
This is my sanctuary.
Oh, aren't you lucky? You wake up to these views every morning.
I feel very, very fortunate in life, and honestly, gratitude in the morning every single day.
God, you are so blessed. Because are those like Ngong Hills?
Yes.
Really?
Get to see a beautiful sunset every evening.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
It's so beautiful.
It is.
And very, is this your favorite space?
This is my favorite spot in the house. It's my place of peace.
Okay.
It's where I come to recollect my end day thoughts.
Okay.
Where I plan my stuff.
Yes.
Where I do a lot of reading.
Yes.
And it's really my space, right? So with the kids and everything, this is a space just for myself, for me to come at the end of the day, review my day. And recollect, start my day with gratitude, prayers, and, you know, good vibes.
It works. Talk to me about the process of creating your beautiful space here.
Well, actually, again, it was a continuous movement. My bed actually used to be here.
Okay.
But you know, I'm also a believer in feng shui and the way energy moves around a house. Mm-hmm. And it was distressing being in between two doors, actually. Mm-hmm. And so I moved it over there. I don't have a mosquito net because the space came with a mosquito net, but it's worth the mosquitoes sometimes to be you know, a bit more calmer, a bit more peaceful. So
Yes.
again, I like to move things around and see how pieces feel in a different corner and a different
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
The evolution of living at home, right? Don't get stuck.
Yes.
You know, keep moving, keep movement open and alive.
I like that tip. Another tip, guys, you don't need to get stuck in one style of how you've done layout in your space. You can always recreate the layout of your spaces. And I like this a lot because I think when you wake up, all you see is those beautiful views.
Yeah.
And what is so outstanding for me is this beautiful art piece here. You knew I was gonna
Yeah,
go there.
yeah.
You saw it coming, right?
Right.
Talk to me about this beautiful art piece here.
So they're actually dragonflies.
Dragonflies, yes.
And so this was one of actually a lot of the stuff I bought, but Reggie gifted me the dragonflies.
Okay.
And at the same time, the dragonfly is the logo for the Artisanal Gallery.
Okay.
And the dragonfly has a deeper spiritual meaning to it. You know, it means it comes at a time of change, at a time of enlightenment and transformation.
Okay.
And so I had this piece lying around, and I thought, let me stick these dragonflies on there and make a little piece for myself in the room, so I can commemorate them and give them a new life again.
That's upcycling right there.
Exactly.
I mean, if I saw this, I'd pass it. So stunning. Now the rugs, again, you upcycled because these are your mom's?
Correct. They're my mum's.
Okay.
And you know, these are beautiful Persian rugs.
Yes.
And again, they add, you know, a really beautiful statement of luxury. Even these, the way they're crafted and weaved, you know, it's a specialty. So I feel very fortunate to have these. And again, I've paired it with a lot of the natural nkeka sort of elements that I've got in my room. Which
you live up to your word, don't you? And beliefs.
Yes, absolutely. I am what I say I am.
I love it. Now, you also created beauty products for the face.
Yes.
Talk to me about your beauty products.
So, you know, when I first connected with nature,
yes,
it was when I was pregnant and I had my children coming out of me, and I all of a sudden became really conscious about my body and how I was looking after myself, my nutrition. And I started to look for natural products out there that were toxin-free, actually, because in today's world, especially in places like Africa, we actually get dumped with a lot of products that people don't know. And it's about, again, the brand. It's a fancy brand, it must be good. It's a fancy brand, it must be good. But nobody takes the time to read the ingredients.
Okay.
So that inspired my skincare brand, the Natural Mums Company.
Oh, nice.
And what we've done here, again, you can see my love for wood.
Yes, I like that.
We've used African botanicals that are indigenous to the continent of Africa.
Okay.
And created a line that's nourishing for your skin. So your skin is your biggest organ,
Absolutely.
actually. And it absorbs everything you put inside it.
Yes.
So we decided to sort of break away and create a product that you can use, your skin type can use, my skin type to use, because all we've done is we've basically created a recipe of African botanicals and essential oils that nourish your skin and bring it back to its original health.
Nice. Where can one buy that?
Artisanal Gallery, and we also have online.
And I like the packaging because you can upcycle it.
So if you bring back the empty tubs, we give you a 10% discount on your next purchase. Oh, they're quite pretty. You can keep them. You can use to keep them your knickknacks in there and reuse them again.
All right. So what do you call the brand? What's the name of the brand?
The Natural Mums Company.
The Natural Mums Company support this amazing product. I hope I'll get to go with one at home and try with my daughter. And at Artisan Gallery, which is in Gigiri, they can get you also on your social media handle. What's the name of your social media handle?
www.thenaturalmumscompany.com or the Artisanal Gallery at Gigiri Courtyard on Gigiri Lane.
Hey, let's go to the other space that I'm dying to experience because it's everything what Art of Living outdoor looks like. Come with me. Hey, Lady, I've enjoyed your home so much.
I'm so glad.
And more importantly, we've learned so much on sustainability and conscious living. Hey, that's your
Hi, welcome home. You had a good day at school? Okay.
son. How old is your son?
He's 9, going to be
Okay.
10 soon.
All right.
So yeah, they're very much integrated with what I do, my
Yes,
life, my
yes,
curation, my
yes.
skincare brand.
Okay.
They come and help me when I'm at the fairs, sell products.
Yeah.
So I integrate them into my work life as much as possible.
He's very cute.
Thank you.
And you have 2 children?
I have 2 boys.
Oh, 2 boys.
2 boys. The other
Okay.
one, Kavir, he's 7 years old, just turned 7 on Saturday.
Oh, you share birthdays?
Well, mine was 2 weeks before. We just shared the celebration.
Okay, so lovely, lovely. You were talking to me about the art piece, beautiful art pieces there, and
Yeah, so this patio is a very special space for me. This is where I get to be interactive with my kids, you know, if
Okay.
they're playing in the garden.
yes,
And I do a lot of my paint work, and this is supposed to be my atelier
yeah,
where I paint, and I feel, of course, inspired by my surroundings and my
Yes.
environment.
yes,
And I create, and my kids come and interact with me in my pieces. They'll come and they'll do a brush here, a brush there. So it's a part of all of us. It's a part of our life.
Yes.
You know, I'm not like a serious painter or anything like that, but this is
Okay.
just, you know, how I get to interact with my kids in a different way.
But those art pieces are extraordinary. I love them. Are you selling those?
Well, I could. I haven't thought about that far yet, but of course.
You should sell them. All they need to go is to your artisan gallery and in Gigeri. We mentioned that. What's in social media page for your artisan gallery? By the way,
The Artisanal Gallery.
Okay, the artisan gallery, and you can get every beautiful piece that is eco-friendly, sustainable living is embraced in that gallery. So if you're all about eco-friendliness, you want that in your space, she's gonna help you together with her partner Krista
Correct.
curate that kind of space. Now this outdoor space, I love it. I'm embracing every single piece in the space because every piece I'm looking at tells a story.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a question mark.
Well, the dot down there used to be this little pot thingy here.
Okay.
And it fell off in
Okay.
transition. And
All
then
right.
I just had this lying around. So I said, let me finish the question mark.
Oh, there you go. So I'm leaving a question mark. Today, are you gonna embrace sustainability in your home? That's the big question from our wonderful guest today. Now, if you want to create a beautiful space like this, because I know it rains because of all weather, kind of weather, what are one of the tips that you can give people to create this kind of space,
Yeah.
outdoor space that is functional
Yeah.
and it's beautiful
Yeah.
and it's sustainable?
Well, I obviously have a covering here, but you know, using glass and metal pieces
Yeah.
are probably the easiest way
Okay.
to have outdoor furniture,
Yeah.
and and that way also your pieces can weather the go through all the weather transitions.
Yes.
Throughout the year, we have a lot of rain in Kenya.
Yes.
So allow it to rust, allow it to evolve with the weather, and that's
Okay.
why also that piece I've left it. That's one of my other paintings as well.
Okay.
I've left it out because I want it to rust with the paint and evolve over time.
Okay.
So my dogs are very
Playful.
active right now.
I like it creates a lot of life into your space. I love them. So friendly and nice.
Yeah.
As we wind up the show, are you going to tell me which is your favorite art piece in this space?
I think it has to be the question mark.
Okay.
This one I created, and then that one was Reggie's. We had created this piece for the exhibition back
Okay.
in 2022.
All right.
It's one of these eccentric pieces. It's a pop-out piece. That one is also one of my favorites.
Okay.
That sculpture there.
Okay. Another wood trunk.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it just, you know, you can see it flow. It almost looks like a woman.
Yes.
You can feel all the different curvatures of the wood
Yes.
that comes out.
Yes.
And that, I think that's so beautiful.
I like that. I like that.
And these as well. This is a great piece. These
Yes.
are some other Reggie Hobbs pieces that I had picked up, and I don't know if you can read that. But
Me?
it kind of says love.
Okay, I read me. I don't know. Okay.
L-O-V-E kind
Okay.
of. Well, that's what I interpreted it as.
Okay.
So yeah, it's, you know, art is what evokes an emotion from you.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's the point. If I've inspired you today, my job is done.
Oh, yay. I am inspired. I hope you at home have been inspired as much as I have. One last person we haven't spoken about is your business partner, Krista. Whom you work with and co-partnered in creating the Artisan Gallery at Gigiri. I encourage all of you to visit it and buy your amazing pieces. Yeah, so meanwhile, I want to have fun with Sonny. Is it Sonic?
Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic. But before I finish this amazing episode, I want to ask you guys to please go to their page, follow their page, get inspiration, get their art pieces. And this home reminds us how to balance beauty, sustainability, and functionality. And that's what Art of Living is all about. I hope you've been inspired as much as I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Naila. Thank you for coming to my home.
You are beautiful inside out. You're such a creative genius.
Thank you.
I'm so inspired on what sustainable living looks like and what it is. It means to have conscious living. And that winds our show today. Thank you for watching at home. We appreciate, we support you. Like, subscribe to our page at KTN Home _ at Miss Nailante. And give us feedback and your comments. We love to hear from you guys. And from their page, the Artisan Gallery as well. Write to them, buy your art pieces from them, support them. These are just creative, genius people that we want in our spaces. Thank you for watching.